Bill Quaid here, Sacramento Special Report. Now, I have a very special guest with me today, which you probably know already, but I think we'd all like to get to know him a little bit better. With me today is Brian Spine, of course, a classic Sacramento Special Report anchor. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, Bill, obviously, you know, we go pretty far back, right? We've done a lot of work together throughout the years. We've been in and out. We've had our ups and downs personally, you know. I think people unfairly label you as tough to work with. I just don't think they get to know you. So that's why I've stuck around with you, and we've done a lot together. We've got a lot of work done.
Brian, you're too kind. You're too kind. You know, Brian, I got to say, working with such a team, which includes you, others like Mr. Stedman, who I'm sure you'll be meeting shortly here, you make working at Sacramento Special Report a real treat. And I don't mean that sarcastically, as you might think. But something I would like to explore a little bit is the kind of history you've had with working with the station.
Yeah, well, I moved to Sacramento 6.5 years ago. 6 years, 7 months, I believe now. Trying to keep everything in order. Originally, when I was here, moved here, no money, no job, nothing. I lived on the streets. I feel every time I move to a new place, I have to sort of do that. I have to get the lay of the land, essentially, is what we call it. So I spent some time with the people of Sacramento, the true people, and I realized I loved them, and they loved me. It's hard for me to get through because it was such a critical time in my life. But I'm at a point now where I can respect the city enough to report on it.
That's something that I think we all can respect. This big R word right there, respect. Not to say it twice in one sentence, but I want to really emphasize the fact that, Brian, respect is something that you exude. I know that. I know that from, I gotta say, I hope you don't mind too much. I was in there when Mr. Tran was interviewing you.
Yeah, Nathan Tran, our head leader here.
Of course. I gotta say, you really blew my socks off. You really blew my socks off. I could see the twinkle in your eye that really said, this guy cares. This guy cares, and he doesn't only care about the news, he cares about the community. And living here in Sacramento, I'm sure that care has only expanded. True or false?
You could not be any more true. As far as I know, this is the greatest city in America. It may be in the world, you know. I know you're a man of culture. We've had several talks about that. Everyone knows you've been all over the planet.
Yeah, Cambodia is one of my favorite. But hey, greatest country in the world. You heard it here first, folks. City, even.
What makes this city great is the landmarks. The landmarks are fantastic. You have our beautiful Golden Bridge that goes over the Sacramento River. Gorgeous, a gorgeous river. Not disgusting at all. It's, you know, it's basically see-through. You could see to the bottom practically. It flows beautifully 24/7. You know, and we talk about the people. We need to talk about the kind of people that are here in Sacramento. Because that's where the money's made. If you don't mind me using a phrase like that.
I agree with you. I think it's the people that's what makes Sacramento great, no?
The people matter, and you need to go out and talk to them. You need to go out, you need to interact with the people of Sacramento. They will explain to you how the world works. They know how the world works. They get it. They're on the front lines every single day, grinding. And we at Sacramento Special Report on that. That's our job. We do it first. You heard it here first. And everybody knows that. Everybody in this city knows that by now.
And everyone here at Sacramento Special Report understands it's the people that are the front lines. Mm-hmm. Now, interestingly, we got to understand, what got you into this business?
The news industry?
The news industry, exactly.
Well, it has to do with my sister. She was actually, and this is really tough for me.
Getting heavy here, folks.
She was hit by a news truck when she was 8 years old.
Wow.
She was just reamed by a news truck, just crushed by one.
Wow.
Not even near a busy street. In a small neighborhood, not in Sacramento. It was in Wyoming and, a smaller town. But
much worse town, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's partly why I came here, but she was just absolutely crushed by a news truck. And I saw that news lettering. I won't give them the time of day,
Sure.
what station it was.
Yeah.
But they inspired me to report on what's happening because that was happening that day.
So when she got crushed, you got crushed. And that enabled you.
You got to break a horse. You got to break a horse in. I believe that's the phrase.
I believe that is right. You got to break a horse in, just like a new pair of shoes.
Yes, exactly. So I had to experience death firsthand to become a reporter.
Now I understand you were acquainted with Gail, and a little bit. I think you might have known Stavros, or at least met him before coming on.
So Stavros, obviously, the guy won't just shut up about how he's from ASU.
Go
Stavros,
Devils, by the way.
Go Devils.
That's him, classic Stavros. God.
So I ran into him at a frat party one time. The man was just putting down, just inhaling liquor. He's a real battle axe, that man. So we had an interaction and ended up going into doing some work together. We had to report on it was a weird situation going on in ASU where they couldn't have enough Kleenex or tissues for everybody in the city.
Oh.
So we got to the bottom of it. We figured out that story, and that was kind of our, as a team, big break.
Wow.
We dove in and just figured out really what was going on. And I would advise, if it's in the archive, I would check that out. Stavros.
Back to basics. Yeah, we like the sound of that. So that was some on-campus reporting?
That was on-campus reporting, yeah. That really got us some attention with bigger. That's kind of how me and Stavros caught Nathan Tran's eye.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. And with Nathan, that must have been the start of it all, of course, naturally.
Of course, he skyrocketed me into the news scene on just a different frequency. He really opened up my third eye, for lack of a better term.
Wow.
He, as a boss though, as a person,
Yeah.
he's not the greatest. He knows what he's doing.
Sorry, Nathan.
But he's got a lot to learn, and he knows that.
Right.
And I think we're all here to help him. He's got strange habits that I think bring about unwanted issues with the crew. And I know but Gail especially has an issue with him, which is, we're upfront about our issues here at Sacramento Special Report because we're first. If someone broke that before us, that would be devastating.
Certainly would be.
We are here first. If there's issues, we'll get them out there and we'll solve them.
Now, we talk about Nathan a lot. We don't get to know him here on the actual on air. But I think our viewers would like to know, what's he like to work for? We understand that, we have some issues, but as an employee employed under Nathan Tran, what's the day-to-day like what are his emails? What's the tone that he treats you with?
His emails are sporadic at best. You'll get one day where you get 9 emails from the man where he's, I don't want to say micromanaging, but he's in your space. He wants to know what you're doing, and then the guy will go missing for weeks on end. But that's just Nathan. That's what he does, and that's why we are number one. Right. That's why we are first, and we are number one.
He's always on the beat. We never know where he is, truly. That's a fact. Unfortunately, like you said, sporadic emails. It's very unfortunate. But something that I think we should really touch on, finally, to wrap this up. We love having you, Brian, here at the station, and we would not be Sacramento Special Report without you.
Same goes for you, Bill. Same goes for you. All those years we spent together, we spent working. We've talked about it before, the crash of 2008, the financial crash of 2008. We spent weeks together grinding out stories with a Sony Handycam. We were out there interviewing people on the streets, just getting down to the nitty gritty of it. So I'm happy to be here, and we're looking forward to more production in the future.
Good evening, Sacramento. Thank you for choosing SSR as your source for high-quality, hard-hitting local coverage. Now, SSR, of course, only operates with your support. So please, subscribe, and you can always say that you heard it here first.